Hello and welcome to Science NEET. Today's topic is a very important topic of class 11 biology, that's human physiology. So human physiology first chapter in our NCERT is digestion and absorption. Digestion and absorption. This topic is really important for your boards, for your competitive exams like NEET, CUET, etc. Even KVPY. This topic is very, very important, fundamental. It is the beginning of learning what digestion actually is. It's much more vast than what you have studied in class 10th under life processes. It's very important. So let us begin with what is digestion. We already know that digestion, first, before doing digestion, we need to know what nutrition is. Why our body does need nutrition. So our body needs nutrition, or let's say food, for energy. And by what forms of nutrients does our body get energy? Our carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, along with vitamins and minerals. These are some important nutrients that our body needs to produce energy to do work. Any process inside a body or outside a body, like moving our hand, talking, or anything, any metabolic function inside our body needs energy. Our body, in addition to all of these nutrients, also require water in larger quantities because it is a natural solvent. Any process or any function occurring in our body needs water. Our cell, our tissues, organs, including anything, needs water to function at ground level. So that is why we need nutrition. Now, there are many types of nutrition. One we have already studied in the botany part, autotrophic nutrition. It is a nutrition that is seen in plants. Why plants? Because plants are autotrophs and they have chlorophyll, because of which they make their own food. So autotrophic nutrition is simply auto means khud se and trophic means eating. So eating by your own, cooking by your own is what is known as autotrophic nutrition. Then what we as animals show is heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition means we need some external factor for our food. We are dependent on autotrophs for the food items they give. We cannot say that we can cook Maggie, we can cook food on our own. No, that's not the thing. But where are you getting those grains from? It's plants, any vegetable or anything or everything, in fact. Either you are dependent on plants or other animals who are lower in the food chain. Like we can eat, if we are carnivores, if we eat non-vegetarian food, we eat eggs, we eat meat, and we eat all of these things. So we are always dependent on our eating. Also, the heterotrophic nutrition can be further divided into holozoic, parasitic, and saprobic. So, parasitic is dependent on your parasite. Holozoic is what we are, humans. Alright, we are holozoic, and saprobic nutrition is feeding on dead animals. Alright, so saprobic nutrition is different. We feed on dead organisms. So, this is how we take it. Alright, let's move this digestive system diagram a little downwards. And now, what is important is food. If you open your NCERT, which is the only important thing that you have to do for any type of exam you are appearing for, whether it's NEET, which is the National Eligibility Entrance Test, which is for your medical entrance test. So it only requires your NCERT understanding very nicely. So food, if you open your NCERT, you see proximate and protective principles, right? What is this? If you open your NCERT and see, we get to know that the proximate principles are your macronutrients. They are what? Your macronutrients, and protective are micronutrients. What do you understand by macro? Macro means you needed them in larger quantities. Alright? And micro means simply you need them in low quantities. Alright? So, both are necessary for your body developments. Both are important for your body development, but the quantity in which they are required are different. So, the macronutrients are carbs, energy giving, proteins, all these are macronutrients. Whereas protective are vitamins / minerals. So, water can also be into your micronutrients. And one thing written in your NCERT is lack of micronutrients or the protective principles lead to deficiency diseases. There are many deficiency diseases like night blindness, scurvy, and rickets, beriberi. We have already learned them in earlier classes as well. So this is what is the most important thing for food. I will just give you a glance of whatever the nutrition part that we have studied till now. So it's food, then it's nutrition, and some macro and micronutrients. Now let us come to a very important part, that is human digestive system. So when we talk about human digestive system, firstly we should be knowing some terms. So let me draw a very simple diagram to demonstrate some important terms used in not only in digestion but wholly in physiology. So these are some terms. You will use them very regularly now. So let us say this is an animal. This could be human also. Let us say that this is an animal. And this animal has 4 legs, 2 behind, 2 in the front. So when we see, this is your tail end, okay? This is your tail end. So always the trunk part, The trunk part is the anterior part. Make sure your face, just in humans, your anterior part will be your nose wala part. Alright? And the tail part is the posterior part. The back side is your dorsal. So what will be in humans, the dorsal will be towards your backbone part. And ventral, this is dorsal or the superior surface, you can also say. And this is our ventral or the inferior surface. Ventral surface in humans will be your, the area towards your stomach will be your ventral portion. This terminology will be used a lot. So you have to make sure that, okay. So now we move on to the human digestive system. Now, so in human digestive system, it is comprised of mouth. Then we have, this is our esophagus. We have pharynx, which is the common entry of air and food. The pharynx then leads to esophagus and larynx. Then we have 3 pair of salivary glands. Then comes the digestive, and this is called the alimentary canal. So in this we have, first thing is stomach, liver, gallbladder, pancreas. Then this leads to small intestine, large intestine, anus, rectum, anus, and appendix is obviously a silent part. You don't need appendix anymore. Alright. So we have to do this in detail. Alright. But right now, we're just giving you the overview of what parts we have in our this. First, today we are going to do mouth in detail. What is palate, what is uvula, what is tongue, what is teeth, functions of teeth, tongue, palate, rugae, everything will be comprising of your mouth. Then pharynx, then esophagus, mouth. In mouth, you will also learn about 3 salivary glands. Their secretions, their important glands, everything. Alright. So let us begin with the digestive system first part, which is of course our mouth. So let us begin with mouth. So in mouth you have different things, right? First thing is buccal cavity. What is your buccal cavity? Buccal cavity is your teeth plus cheeks plus surroundings plus tongue. So everything in your mouth is in your buccal cavity. So when you talk about the buccal cavity, you will always have to remember that what is inferior, what is on the posterior end, anterior. So let us begin. Anterior to our buccal cavity is our lips. Posterior are one thing that is oropharynx. I just written oro, which just gives us a sense that it is for the food wala part. Other pharynx is the laropharynx, which leads to the larynx. Let's not get into that right now. We'll do that in detail in your respiration and breathing chapter, which is the second part of human physiology. So posterior is the oropharynx. Then we have done anterior, posterior. Then inferior to that will be our tongue. Hopefully you can relate to all these things. That what is anterior? सामने. ये हमारी बकल कैविटी है. सामने क्या है? लिप्स. पीछे पोस्टीरियर में क्या है? ओरोफैरिंक्स. इंफीरियर यहाँ नीचे हमारे पास क्या आ जाती है? टंग. और ऊपर क्या आ जाता है हमारे पास? सुपीरियर में हमारे पास क्या आ जाएगा, हमारा पैलेट. If you touch your tongue on the upper end, you will feel that rough palate which has rugae in it. We'll do that. So this is your buccal cavity. If you if you will see your NCERT, your buccal cavity is written as vestibule plus oral cavity proper. So what is your vestibule is? Vestibule is the space, all the space between your cheek, your teeth, gums, everything is called together as vestibule. Whereas oral cavity proper is only your teeth plus gums area. That is your oral cavity proper. So vestibule plus oral cavity proper comprises as your buccal cavity. This is very important. Then let's come to palate. The palate is anterior. So the palate is superior to your buccal cavity, and this palate has two things. One is hard palate, one is soft palate. The soft palate is below your tongue. Hard palate is above your tongue. Okay? So when you the soft palate, I'm really sorry for the let's correct it. Soft palate is when you reach below hard palate. If you move your tongue inside your buccal cavity, you will see one is the hard palate when you touch your tongue towards upper end, and when you push your tongue inwards, there comes a soft place where your tonsil glands are, right? So that is your soft palate. So hard palate, let us come to hard palate first. And in hard palate, what we have is maxilla plus the palatine bone. So maxilla and the palatine bone are two parts of your hard palate. Alright, and this hard palate has some folds of skin which are known as rugae. What is the importance of rugae? It is just providing a sense of friction to prevent the escape of food directly into your pharynx. So this is most important in dogs because they are speaking while eating. So this grabs your food and just provides a friction so that escape of food is not there. So this is the only job of rugae. So let us make a diagram of your buccal cavity right now. This is your buccal cavity part. This is your upper palate, lower palate. This is you will see there is a thing hanging. So this is ovula. Okay, this is ovula. Then we have, this is your tongue obviously. These are your rugae. So this is the diagram of your tongue. Alright. Now next to tongue are your teeth. Alright. So ovula is just a lobe. Okay. So it is in your soft palate. It's just a lobe. There's no such function. But one thing you can see is it will prevent. If you see this will lead to your pharynx, oropharynx. So this is just, you have seen, if this is your pharynx, so this lobe is just preventing for the food to not enter into your laropharynx. So this is the only function. No other function of importance as such. This is the only function. Alright. So now let us come to teeth. Now teeth are very important. Everyone wants to eat, really delicious food. So teeth seems to be the most important part. So first thing you need to know is teeth just help in grinding of food. What they do, help in grinding of food. But there is one thing that is mentioned in your NCERT, that's dentition. Now dentition is nothing but how your teeth are present. It is just the type, how they are aligned, how they work. That is what is dentition. Alright. So, and one is, a word is thecodont, and one is something that is diphyodont. These two words are mentioned in your NCERT. If you look at them, so these two words are what? Dentition. They tell us how teeth are present inside your buccal cavity. So when we talk about thecodont, what does thecodont say? That human teeth are fixed or fitted into socket. This is your thecodont. And what is diphyodont? Diphyodont just tells you that your teeth are grown twice in lifetime. So yes, human teeth grow twice. One are milk teeth, one are permanent teeth, right? So this is what is called as diphyodont. Alright? So diphyodont में बस आपको इतना ही जानना है. इसमें many institutes, many people will tell you to do other dentitions as well, which are like acrodont, plurodont, and bunodont. There are many dentitions, but you don't need to do them. It will never be asked. Okay, so just don't go everywhere to find new words and learn interesting things in biology. Just stick on to what is really important. This is what is important. Okay, nothing else is important. अब हमने डेंटिशन पढ़ लिया. अब डेंटिशन के बाद जो चीज हमको करनी है वो सिंपली है डेंटल फॉर्मूला. हमारे कितने टाइप के, पहली बात तो टीथ होते हैं हमारे उसमें, हमको वो पता होना चाहिए. तो वो होते हैं इंसाइजर्स, कैनाइन्स, प्रीमोलर्स एंड मोलर्स. दीज आर द थ्री टाइप ऑफ टीथ प्रेजेंट इन आवर माउथ. इंसाइजर्स, कैनाइन्स, प्रीमोलर्स एंड मोलर्स. तो ये इंसाइजर हम सबको पता है, जो शार्प टीथ होते हैं हमारे, टू टीयर द फूड. I'm really sorry, I've mistook one thing. Your incisors are your biting food teeth. Biting teeth are your incisors. The canines are your peering teeth. Then premolars are at the back. Molars are also at the back. They both help in grinding. Okay. So when we write the dental formula, the dental formula for adult is, first we'll write IC, PM, M. Then we'll write 2123. 2123. This is my upper jaw. This is my lower jaw. Okay. So what does upper jaw mean? Upper part of your jaw, lower part of your jaw. But this, what is, huh? See, this is my teeth, this is my upper jaw, this is my lower jaw. So the formula is ICPM. ICPM. So ICPM is the half of the upper jaw. Half you have to add. 2, 1, 2, 3 again. 2, 1, 2, 3. So when you add all of these, you will find what is the number, right? So we all know that it's 32. So you will calculate it, it will come out to be that. In children, the formula remains a little different. That is 2102. 2102. So you can correlate it with this, and you have to just learn this off, and there's nothing difficult in it. It's simple, it's important. You cannot miss it. Alright. Now let us come to the other organ of our buccal cavity, that is our tongue. Now when we talk about our tongue, it's just a muscular organ that is posterior in our buccal cavity. It is attached posteriorly with hyoid bone. So there is a bone. We all say in Hindi there is a कहावत ज़बान में हड्डी नहीं होती. But today we get to know that ज़बान अटकी ही हड्डी से होती है. So there is a bone, hyoid bone. यहाँ से आपकी tongue attach होगी. So there is a bone which is called as hyoid bone, which is posteriorly attached with your tongue. The inferior part of your tongue, if you see, this is your tongue, okay, inferior. This is hyoid bone, but inferior it is attached with, there is something, there is this, extension. This is not known as frenulum. Okay, so this is very important. Attachments, and that's it for the tongue. Okay, you can see what we have learned today. Nutrition, then we got to know about tongue, teeth, dental formula. In the next class, we will be doing about esophagus, then stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and absorption. Till then, thank you.